Going to give me my 3-minute signal? Anybody? Okay, great. Thank you. It's true that I've done a lot of work in this community. I am here today, though, as a survivor of child abuse and just as an immigrant and a member of this community. If I had 10 minutes, I hope that I would have said something like what Elaine Walters and Carolyn Rexius said today. But I have 3 or less. So, a couple things I want to say. We don't want child abuse. That's true, and I add myself to this collective dream. And I'm very glad that we're here together taking it on. But when we say we don't want child abuse, what do we want? Do we want absence of abuse? Do we want minimally functioning parents? Or do we want thriving families and communities? And I'm very glad that various speakers earlier brought up basic needs, because I think that even though poverty and not having one's basic needs met is not an entire explanation for abuse, it definitely plays into that. In trauma work, in trauma healing work, we pay a lot of attention to safety. And I think we need to think about economic safety, and safety in every sense of the word. In trauma theory, we have discovered that injuries can be healed in the same sphere in which they were inflicted. And so injuries that happen between people can be healed also in social situations, and we need to pay attention to that. I was very glad to hear speakers talk about the community doing this together. Now, abuse, the women's movement figured out a while back that abuse is about power and control. And what we have, the reason why it happens, a very simple way to say it, is that we live in a society with a pecking order, where some people have more power than others. Children are abused because they're at the bottom of the pecking order. Immigrants, people of color, the gay community, and the community with disabilities are abused because they are often at the bottom of the pecking order. So what I want is a world without a pecking order. And how we do that is pretty complex, to say the least. Child abuse is not just one variable that you can kind of measure and manipulate. It really comes with a lot behind it. And we do a great job of explaining problems, but sometimes we don't have the vocabulary to explain what health means or what the solution means. So I want to challenge us to do that. And lastly, I don't know how much time I have, but I really want to emphasize what Elaine, thank you, and Carolyn said about beginning, leading by example and beginning with ourselves. I have witnessed so many acts of oppression in the same nonprofits that purport to help survivors. My clients, who are mostly Latino immigrants, have experienced, sometimes in front of me, some terrible experiences, and that needs to stop. If we're going to sit here and purport to have any kind of a contribution to this issue, we need to start with ourselves. And let's start now.